This is The Wretched, an actual play podcast of a game by Chris Bezette and played by Ben Maddox.
Episode 1. The way things are.
Understand me just because I want to read their face. People think I'm a dart just because I got acid blood. Just because I've got a head like a knob doesn't mean I am one too. Damn, I'm not bad because I want to lay eggs inside of you. I'm just an alien. Don't ruin my dalian, I'm a fertile alien. I'm not a spalian. Oh, yeah, baby. Hello, welcome. Episode 1 of The Wretched. How's it going? Just putting my guitar down there. I'm going to do a simultaneous put my guitar down, pick up a cup of tea. Isn't that exciting? Yeah. I mean, I think people, because, the fact is these shows are very nonsensical. I mean, they make no sense at all. But, so I assume people are thinking, well, Ben's had a couple of drinks, isn't he? No. This is just my ordered, so waking up in the morning is very similar to having booze. I feel that discombobulated in the morning. Yeah, but, morning it is, Sunday morning it is. I've just come back from church. I've come back from church. Yeah, I'm having a cup of tea. And I'm thinking about aliens. So this is interesting, this one, because I think these episodes might be a little shorter than the rest, because there's almost no mechanisms in this, really. All I do is roll a die, then draw the cards. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back and do an update, shall we? So it's been about a week since I recorded the session 0, and I'm in a very little room, and I have a Jenga tower and a packet of cards. Well, I've knocked the Jenga tower down twice and had to re-put it. And as far as I remember, they haven't started, so I don't think it affects much. And I knocked the packet of cards on the floor. So I'm going to reshuffle them now, using my casino shuffle. And if I do my flamboyant casino shuffle and knock down the Jenga tower, it's going to be hilarious, because, that's the kind of... what some mothers do have them. Oh, Betty, that I do. All right, there we go. Cards are shuffled. So, if you remember, I'm Ben Maddox. I'm the ship's doctor. I've subtly changed it. In the book, you're always the engineer. I'm hoping that doesn't bugger up the prompts, to be honest. It will do. But I'm the ship's doctor. Single father. It was all going well. Had 100 days left. It was a 200-day mission to somewhere. 100 days left. And the ship was attacked by an alien. I'm an alien. And, so attacked by an alien, and I've got to try and live in that. Not confident, not very good. I think I get the impression that the game is kind of designed for you to lose. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So basically the way it works is that I roll a die, and I've got my Cthulhu die here. It's Worship Cthulhu, Fnagan, Managan. Yeah, I've got my Cthulhu die here. I'll put this up on the Discord. Okay, I'm gonna do this at the beginning. Anyone listening to this wants to join the 5G4D Discord. There is a special server channel, I think it's called, for the solo RPG episodes, and yeah, you can go on there. You can tell me how fucking wonderful I am and that. And yeah, you just go to 5gamesfordoomsday.com and you get on the Discord server because there's a pinned post. You click on that, go to the Discord server. Sorry, I was a bit disjointed because I was burping because I'd just taken a sip of tea. And, you know, it's repeated on me, missus. Anyway, so, yeah, you roll the die. That dictates how many cards you draw. And remember, very much like Long Haul, once you've shuffled the deck, if you don't knock it on the floor, I'm going to put it back in the box after I record. It stays the same. You don't shuffle it again. And then you roll the die, and then I've got a Jenga tower here, which I can guarantee you is going to fall down 1,000,000 times during the recording of this series. But then that's for stuff and that. I'm really good at this, aren't I? Today, we stand in honour of Benjamin W. Maddox. You can ask him what the W is, he won't tell you. The greatest explainatinator of the entire world. The world was shocked today when they found out that explanations could truly be lifted to an artistic yet clear level. Thank you, Ben. You're the greatest. Not you, Derek. You're a bellend. That's called a callback joke for those who haven't listened. So yeah, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the die, draw that many cards, talk to you about the prompts and that, and go away and write it, then come back and perform it. And if you're hopping on, this is always a good time to hop on episode 1 of a series. You know, this kind of insightful, like razor sharp explanation is what you're going to be used to. Like, I'm not a disordered mind, like a fucking total idiot or anything. I'm just going to have a sip of tea. It is amazing, the degree. Now, anyone here listening to this works for Barry's or Tetley's or even PG Tips, not my favourite, and wants to sponsor the show, I'll do it for free tea bags. I don't need money, just free tea bags. Because I'm pretty sure it's genetically wired into you that you've got to love tea if you're British. And, you know, occasionally you'll bump into someone and be like, oh no, I only drink coffee. Oh, coffee. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I definitely know what the difference between a cappuccino and a flat white is. Yeah, it's not just an excuse to charge an extra £1 on a cup of coffee because I'm fucking, because they're fucking appealing to our vanity and desire to look good and that. Flat white, stick it up your ass. Anyway, so we're going to start, are we? So I'm going to roll the die. You can't hear it because it's one die in my hand, you see. So what you don't notice is I'm actually shaking the die in my hand, but you can't hear it. Or you can a little bit, and it sounds a bit like I'm having a wank. Anyway, so here we go. 5. I rolled a 5, which means I draw 5 cards. That's a lot of cards, isn't it? All right, so are you excited? Just going to pull up the PDF here. All right, so, and remember, hearts are my ship systems, life support, water purification, and the like. Diamonds represent your ship's physical structures. When you draw a diamond, you're physically engaging with the ship. Clubs represent the crew. When you draw a club, you're reminded of the people you lost. Spades represent the creature, and it may have made its presence known physically, or you may have to deal with the mental toll the hunt is having on you. Okay, so it says in the book, if you want a shorter game, start with the Ace of Hearts at the top. Now, I haven't done that, but wouldn't it be funny by some coincidence that the Ace of Hearts was at the top? Are you ready? Let's have a look. Oh, fuck off. No, really, honestly, I didn't do this. I did not do this. I didn't do this. This is pure coincidence, but the Ace of Hearts is at the top of the deck. Honestly, Governor Benjamin Maddox, you are in the dock today accused of being a lying twat for drama on your bloody podcast. Honest, Gov, I didn't put the Ace of Hearts at the top, but it is the Ace of Hearts. Isn't that amazing? Okay. Let's have a look. The Ace of Hearts made some tarts. Do you think in the tart making thing? So we've discussed this on this show before, but do you think it's the number of tarts you make? It's like 2 of hearts makes 2 tarts. King makes like 13 tarts or whatever. And the ace, I mean, what number is ace? I mean, what number is king? But what number is ace? Do you think, like, they're the best tarts? It's like the ace of hearts makes the best tarts. Anyway, after days of trying, you finally manage to repair your distress beacon and activate it. Pull from the tower. Do not discard this card. Instead, put it to one side and place 10 tokens on it. At the end of each day, after recording your log, roll your die. On a result of 6, remove a token from the card. If you successfully remove all the tokens, someone responds to your beacon. Make a final pull from the tower. If the tower stands, you are rescued and the game ends. Record 1 more audio log as you watch them destroy the creature and dock with your ship. If the tower falls, they arrive too late to stop your ship falling apart in the black. You are dead. The game is over. Start with attention. So this is great. This is another thing that I've got to have set up that can get knocked over at any time. This is brilliant, but it's good. It's tense, that. Okay. So I've got the tokens on it. I couldn't get nuts and bolts, unfortunately. I've got coins. So what is the point of copper coins, by the way? Why don't they just get rid of copper coins? At 5G for D, if there's some economic reason why copper coins are really important, let me know. They seem like a pain in the ass. Okay, on the notes, I'm going to write, got the distress beacon to work. I think I logged onto the engineering channel. And found a message from John, the ship's engineer. After some work, I managed to get the distress beacon working. So, but the thing is, what this means is, at the end of each day, I've got to roll a 6 at the end of each day to remove a token. Then I've got to make a final pull from the tower, and it's not going to bloody happen. It's so cruel. This game is so cruel. Okay, after some work, I managed to get the distress beacon working. The reason I'm writing these notes is they seem quite vague, but I have this idea around in my head about what I'm going to write, and that's going to help so I don't forget it. All right, okay. That's one card, the Ace of Hearts. Made some tarts. The 9 of Clubs. So, as you remember, clubs represent the crew. Let's have a look. Structures, no. Crew. 9 of Clubs. If I had one criticism about the layout of this book, because you've got to remember that this represents this represents this, because it doesn't have the suit number next to the number in the book. They should do that, I think. So the 9, make a list of the 5 best hiding places on the ship in the event that you need to use them. Okay. I think 5 best hiding places is also going to be in the John file. So it's going to be this file on the computer from the engineer in case he is out of action. And he's going to, and people are going to think, I think, people think John is a bit of a nutty prepper. There we go. Like, people are going to think he's a bit of a nutty prepper, and I'm going to be very happy he is, basically. Okay, next card. 5, it's a lot today. The 9 of Spades. And remember... Oh, I've noticed they've got him at the bottom of the page. I mean, could have been better to have it next to the thing. But anyway, this is the creature. Despite the thick hull of the ship separating you from the creature outside, you somehow know when it is near your section of the ship. How? Pull from the tower. Okay, so I'm going to pull from the... I'll pull from the tower now. Here we go. I found one near the bottom. So I'm pulling out from the bottom, from the middle. No problem. Wouldn't that be fucking rubbish? Wouldn't that have been rubbish if, like, the first block I pulled and the Jenga tower fell down? I don't mind saying Jenga tower. Am I going to get sued by Hasbro? I mean, probably. They're going to sue everyone at the moment, aren't they? OGL and that. Anyway, so I pulled from the tower successfully. I can hear it, I think. I hear it skittering. And... it makes a noise. Because I happened, just coincidentally the other day, I was editing something and there was some feedback or something in an interview, and it's just this 1 second of like horrible noise. And I think I'm going to do something to that to make it the alien's voice. Very exciting. Okay. I hear it skittering, it makes noise. Very simple, but, why not? So that's 3 cards are drawn for 10 of diamonds. Here we go. Let's have a looky-loo. 10 of diamonds. This is structures. When the climate control on with the climate control on the fritz, mold springs up in some of your food stores. You can't fix it, so you just seal that locker up and hope that nothing affects the rest of your supplies. Okay. I'm just going to write here, talk about the mouldy food. And it's nice to see the English spelling of mouldy, not the American spelling. And now I have to do that thing with Google where you have to change locale to British English so it doesn't keep putting the red line underneath my English spelling. Now I've got to pull from the tower again. Twice in this go. Oh, I'll do that one again. That's another middle one, sort of a third up. I think pulling from the middle is probably the best bet. And I successfully do it. Boom. All right, my last card. You die! The 5 of hearts. So they made 5 tarts. You get 5 tarts with the 5 of hearts. This is systems again. You've been finding it harder and harder to catch your breath, and eventually it dawned on you the oxygen system has shut itself off. You fixed it, but what caused it to break? I've got to pull from the tower again. This game is relentless. I'm going to pull from the tower first. Right from the bottom, in the middle. 3 times I've had to pull from the tower today. All right, so what caused it to... I think I find out the company have a failsafe when the crew goes below a certain amount. They turn off the oxygen because the mission will fail and they want to save money. So basically what it is, you need a certain amount of crew to make sure the success of a mission for some reason and that. And say there's a disease and people die because they don't know it's space. If a certain amount of oxygen if the certain amount of oxygen being used goes below a certain thing, the company says, well, the mission's going to fail. We could salvage the ship, but we're not going to be able to complete the mission. It's not cost effective. And so we'll just turn off the oxygen. And if there's anyone else left alive, well, tough shit. That's your fault for signing a contract, and the contract actually says it and that. He's going to talk about that, I think. And it's going to conflict with his Hippocratic oath and that. So, yeah, that's it. So, got the distress beacon to work, logged into the engineering channel, found a message from John, the ship's engineer. After some work, I managed to get the distress beacon working. I'm going to list the 5 best hiding places. People think John's a bit of a nutty prepper, but thank God, John. I hear the aliens skittering, it makes a noise. I talk about the mouldy food. I find out the company have a failsafe when the crew goes below a certain amount. They turn off the oxygen because the mission will fail and they want to save money. Well, there we are. That's the first day. It's a hell of a day. I pulled from the Jenga tower 3 times. A hell of a day. And, well, there's nothing more to say apart from editing Ben here. I'm amazing. I completely forget the rules and that. So I remember at the end of the day, I've got to roll a d6, and if I hit a 6, I get to remove a token from my beacon. So I'm just going to do that now. I'm rolling the die. You'll never bloody believe it. I rolled a bloody 6. Honest to God. It is the Elder Sign symbol on the Cthulhu die. I rolled a bloody 6. So I'm removing a 1-cent coin there, putting it on the shelf in front of me. And there we go. One step closer to not dying in that. I'm going to go write it. Day 1. Salvage ship. The Wretched. Ship's Dr. Ben Maddox reporting. I've never been alone before. So strange.
think back to those nights when you were a baby. Months. Without sleep. I could tell when you were about to cry, because you'd make the cutest noise in the back of your throat. We had a baby monitor. You'd make this little hum. I remember grimly smiling in the dark next to your mother. Then you'd go. Such a little thing, making such a massive amount of noise. I was so angry then. I'd have to work in the morning and you kept me awake all bloody night. Now the only sounds I hear are my breathing, my footfall on the aluminium walkways, the general buzz of the ship. And that thing skittering above me. Oh, I'd give all I had to hear you scream for just a minute, to hear your little lungs cry out because you needed me. You scream for just a minute, to hear your little lungs cry out because you needed me. Oh, now I need you more than I ever have. And I know that relief will never come. I love you so much. I didn't realize it till now. I'm supposed to be talking to the corporation, but I know I won't get out of this alive. So I think it's better to spend my time talking to you. All right, let's compromise, eh? I'll tell you what happened on the ship. This bastard's want me dead, so I'd rather talk to you. We laughed at John, the engineer. He was so bright, someone whose cleverness separated him, made him unlike everyone else. He was up there and we were down here, and he wasn't a snob or anything. He couldn't relate. So we laughed at him. He was here because he needed money for his cabin, deep in the forest. He wanted to get away from people because he said, they're the only thing that causes me pain. He was paranoid too, John. He saw this coming, or something like it coming, and so he was always prepared. What good did it do him? Eh? If I crane my neck a bit, I can see his boots. His ankles. I know the rest of his mouldering corpse is attached to them. I remember that much from anatomy. I spent years dissecting cadavers, and yet I can't bring myself to move their bodies.
Even with John.
I will, though. Tomorrow. I'm starting to smell them, and it's too much. So much today. So much. Oh, where do I start? Oh, yes, that's right. The corporation are trying to kill me. I woke up this morning short of breath. I put my head to the vent and felt no air. Of course, I lost my mind. Used up so much air in fretting that I nearly killed myself. After I calmed down, I logged onto the engineering channel. I found the oxygen system settings, and under a folder marked contingency, I found this. In the event that total oxygen consumption falls below a VE of 18 litres per minute, oxygen systems will terminate and the mission will be considered a failure. Any loss of life will be considered an acceptable pecuniary loss. To say I was angry would be an understatement, but I managed to hold myself together long enough to work out the override. This is how I'm talking to you. If I ever make it out of this alive, I'll make sure to let everyone know about acceptable pecuniary loss. Oh, also, the bloody food's going mouldy. Thankfully, we have a whole store of dried and canned goods, and as I'm the only one that'll be eating it, I'm sure it'll last. Well, I'm sure you want to know what the creature is. All I can tell you is that I don't know. I didn't see it. I only saw the effects. The faces of my crewmates in their death testify to its viciousness. I hear it skittering on the outside of the ship. I've welded every door shut, and I'm confident that it can't get in. But every time I hear it run along the ship, my hindbrain kicks in, and I'm consumed with a terror that I never thought I'd experience. To that end, I've compiled a list of places to hide in case it gains entrance. You'll find my body in one of those spaces. On the bridge, under the co-pilot's chair is a panel. Under that is a storage space big enough for a human and some food. Deborah used it to stash her booze. If the freezer is turned off, it makes an impenetrable cell. The same goes for the quarantine hold in the medical bay. The cargo hold has a dangerous materials locker. If I can work out how to pump oxygen in there, well, it's perfect. Finally, of course, the prison wing. Why would this ship have a prison wing? Is that what those bastards think about us? Ironically, I couldn't be happier for it now. Oh, some good news. At least. I got the distress beacon working. In John's folders, he left detailed instructions. All I had to do was follow them. Oh, thank you, John. I'm so sorry I laughed behind your back. I don't want to stop talking. If I do, I have to go back into that ship. I have to go back to being alone. All I want is to hear your cries. All I want is to go into your room, lift you up, and rock you till you stop. You never realised that, did you? When I would give you shit about what you were like as a baby. Holding you. Rocking you. Until I felt your breath calm, and you would look at me with those big eyes. Well, I wasn't reassuring you. You were reassuring me. Having you there, having you need me, made me feel needed. Made me feel worth something. Well, I need you now more than ever, my darling. I hope I see you again, but if I don't, please remember me. It's the only way I'll live on. Okay, I have to go now. There's so much to do. This is Ben Maddox, ship's doctor, signing off.
All music by Chris Bizet. The game can be bought at loottheroom.itch.io. If you want to support the podcast, you can do that by going to patreon.com/5G4D. Thank you for listening.